Hi everyone, it's Zoe here from Living with a Sleeve. Thanks for joining me for another Wednesday talking about all things life after sleeve gastrectomy. Today I wanted to have a chat about protein because it's one of those things that I get asked about all the time. It's especially been coming up quite a lot lately in our Living with a Sleeve community. So really I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on why you need protein, how much you need, and how you should try and get it into your day. And I guess any questions as we go through, please just feel free to post them as a comment, or if you'd like, as always, post it as a comment after the video and I'll get back to you in the comment section. I've also written a blog post about this week, so I'll post a link to that one in the comments as well. So if you'd like to go back and have a read, you're more than welcome to. So let's get started. We've got a few on here, which is fabulous. Thank you for joining me. Really, what I want to go through first is just pretty simple. Like, why do we need protein? And essentially, protein is the building blocks that our body uses to build cells, muscles, skin cells, but it also keeps us full. So really, if you're looking at protein in the initial stages after a sleeve, so for the first, say, 6 weeks or so, protein is extremely important because it helps with healing, and eating enough protein is really important so that you're getting enough, your body is getting enough protein to help with healing, and also so that you're minimizing, as you lose weight, you're minimizing the amount of muscle that's wasting away. And look, muscle wastage happens with weight loss, especially when you're losing a big amount of weight, but if you're eating enough protein, it helps to minimize that muscle wastage, which is what we're after. Protein really also, the appetite side of things, helps you stay fuller for longer. So if you're long term after a sleeve, protein is really important because it's going to help keep you satisfied, help minimize your appetite in between meals, and so that means that you're eating less food if you're snacking less, eating less calories, so you'll end up with more weight loss. Okay, so really, just to recap, why do we need it? In the initial stages, it's really important for healing. It also helps minimize muscle loss as you lose weight. It's the building blocks for our body, so it's really important for building all types of cells and hormones within our body, and it also helps keep you fuller for longer. So eating enough protein will help control your appetite, which will then mean that you eat less calories overall and lose more weight. Okay, that one is done. So any questions, as I said, as we go along, just please feel free to ask. So how much protein do we actually need? I feel like a lot of the questions that I get asked is around this, how much do I need? What is enough protein? And often I actually think that people overemphasize protein requirements and try and get too much protein or focus too much on protein, especially long term after the sleeve. So really, the recommended daily intake for protein is quite small. So 46 grams of protein for women and 56 grams for men on average, but that's for a general population. If you're overweight, you will need more. And the ASMBS, who the American Society for Managing Obesity, they have put out all of the guidelines that we use, and they recommend that people after weight loss surgery aim for like 60 to 110 grams a day, and that's a huge range, I know. But most people after a sleeve tend to eat like 60 to 80 grams a day. Just because of the volume restriction, it's quite difficult to get up to like 110 grams a day of protein. But make sure as well that you talk with your dietitian, because how much you should aim for really will depend on your weight, any other medical conditions that you've got, and the exercise that you're doing too. So I would check in with your dietitian and ask them exactly how much you should aim for. And really, when we're looking at protein and getting the grams of protein in every day, like I don't believe in counting calories or tracking everything that you eat, because I don't think that that's a normal way of eating food. And we weren't designed to count calories and count grams of fat and protein and carbs and macros. Look, it's fine, I think, if you want to just check every now and then, type in, to an app to say, how much protein have I eaten today, just to get a ballpark figure. But once you're in a bit of a routine, you should just really concentrate on listening to your stomach and relaxing about food a little bit, because if we start counting and always tracking, you're essentially on another diet, and you haven't had surgery to go on another diet. That's my personal belief anyway. So really, I think you should listen to your stomach a little bit more and make sure that you're eating a little bit of protein at breakfast, lunch and dinner, and any snacks or mid meals that you have, and you'll be okay. You'll probably get in around that 60 to 80 grams of protein. So the key really is to spread your protein intake over the day. You won't be able to physically eat more than too much in one go anyway, so the sleeve limits that, but your body also can't absorb more than about 30 grams of protein in one go either. So there's no point in trying to stuff yourself so you feel really ill, just full with protein foods, because your body won't be able to absorb it, and you're just going to make yourself feel uncomfortable. So spread your protein intake out over the day. Make sure that any time you eat, you do have some protein foods in there. And the best sorts of protein are either animal protein or plant protein, but the things that we're looking at are things like meat, chicken, fish, dairy, so milk, yogurt or cheese, eggs, tuna or salmon, tinned or smoked salmon or fresh fish is all fine. And from a plant point of view, we're looking for those beans and lentils, so kidney beans, and even things like, say, cereals, like for example, Wheat Bix or Special K, they have some protein in them as well. So you get protein from a whole range of foods over the day. And one thing you can have a look at is in the blog post that I'll link to in the comments. I've actually put a little quick easy table there so that you can see how much protein is in a reasonable serve of any of those types of foods. I've made the servings in that table smaller than what an actual serve is, because most of the time after a sleeve, you're different, you can't eat the same volume. So I've sort of brought that back down to a more sleeve friendly serve. But to give you an example, 50 grams of red meat, like a steak, for example, it gives you about 16 grams. So if you're aiming for, say, 60 to 80 grams, you're already almost a quarter of the way there. So really what you just need to do, if you have that 3 times a day, you have a meal, and then in between you have a little bit extra, maybe it's even a coffee in between, you'll get another 5 grams or so here and there. So it's really not that hard to get your protein requirements over the day. So I hope that has helped. As always, please ask me any questions. I will post this into our community as well, because I feel like that's where I've been getting quite a lot of questions about protein. If you're interested in the community, it's a secret Facebook group, and you get a whole bunch of extras, including like live Q&As and access to me in the secret group. And I made it secret because I know lots of people don't want other people on Facebook to know that they've joined a group like that, so nobody else can see that you're in there. But I'll post the link to that as well, just if you're interested, and hopefully you will go forth and conquer your protein needs. Alright, and I'll chat to you next Wednesday. But as always, if you want to ask me any questions or you'd like me to cover a particular topic, just post on my wall or send me a message, and I'll get onto it for you. Okay, thanks so much guys, have a fabulous day. Bye.